Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for November 12th through 18th. This week I read 3 books, I watched 2 shows, and I listened to 2 books. Also, I made this comment in my last video. This is going to be a delightfully bookish month for me, and I'm very excited about it. Which was actually a sneaky reference to the fact that I was getting a book tattoo the very next day, and literally no one but myself and my tattoo artist knew about it. It's so pretty! First this week, I read So Much I Want to Tell You by Anna Akana. This is a nonfiction book broken up into a few different sections where Akana talks about things she wishes she could tell her little sister Chris, who committed suicide when they were both teenagers. I've been watching Anna's videos for a few years now, and it was interesting to find out that every creative endeavor she's undertaken has either been inspired by or made directly for Chris. This was short and an easy read to pick up while I was selling swords in Vancouver. Next, I finished Fresh Romance by various authors and artists. This is a collection of 4 short comic stories that each have some element of romance. And I originally picked it up because I knew Kate Leth was involved. The fact that it was 4 different stories by different teams was a fun realization. The art was gorgeous, and it felt like each tale was long enough that it contained a significant portion of each world. If you just want something adorable to breeze through, this is it. Finally, I read Adaptation by Melinda Lowe. I picked this up because I recently read A Line in the Dark and I wanted to see what else Lowe had written. This book starts out with a couple of students sitting in an airport, waiting to return home after a national debate competition. The protagonist sees something weird out the window and things get stranger and stranger from there, until there's a series of twists until they're set back down in their usual lives. So in a word, unexpected. There's a level of strangeness to this book that I really enjoy, as well as unexpected romantic elements that just pop up and seem equally sudden for the protagonist as they do for the reader. I believe this might be the first in a duology, which I did not know when I picked it up, but I'm actually satisfied with how it ended. I could see myself reading the second book, but I also enjoy leaving the end to interpretation. Then again, Lowe writes such great bi-rep that I kind of want to read everything she's ever written. This week on Survivor, I decided that I do, in fact, care more when all of the teams are merged. It might be because there are less people to try to figure out. It might be because they all interact together. I don't know. Too many people means I need to split my attention too much and then I can't really care about anyone. I don't get as deeply invested until I can actually start to remember the names of all of the competitors. This week, I also started watching the 12th season of Bones. I know all good things come to an end, but that doesn't mean I have to get to the end of the things I enjoy promptly. Also, damn it, the last 2 episodes I watched both made me cry, which is not how I thought I was going to spend my Friday night. But there you go. I'm probably going to finish the season next week, but at least I can always rewatch it from the beginning. I am trash for crime shows. This week I listened to These Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. This book is set in 1890 New York and follows the daughter of a prominent businessman who has recently died. It's a murder mystery that blends detective work with journalism, and it is full of moments where the protagonist is dismissed because of her gender. I enjoyed listening to this book, but there were a few things that made it annoying. Thing the first, every time a significant plot point or piece of the puzzle came up, it felt like the author had to repeat the detail in case the people in the nosebleed seats didn't hear it. This happened so often that I assumed the author thought that I was unintelligent, which is not how you want to feel while reading a book. Secondly, anytime the protagonist was looked down upon because of her gender, there was this weird highlighting of it, and yes, okay, I get it, I live that life. I know this is annoying and wrong. Just let the ignorant action speak for itself, don't over-explain. That being said, I really enjoyed that the side characters had to teach the protagonist the things that a lady should not know. I did enjoy this book, but I felt a few steps ahead of the protagonist way too often. The second book I listened to this week was a reread of It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor, because there was no way I was going to skip the majesty of Cecil Baldwin narrating a clash between science and a smiling god. Obviously I loved it, and also I found out at my tattoo appointment that I get to meet Fink and Cranor next month at PodCon, and since It Devours is already signed, I'm going to ask them to sign my copy of the first Night Vale novel. That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you next time. Bye.